Boracay, the soul of White Beach, paradise beyond the sand. There are beaches. And then there is White Beach, a 4-kilometer stretch of pure, powdered sand, so fine it slips through your fingers like whispers of silk. A sea that shifts from turquoise to sapphire to emerald, reflecting the moods of the sky above it. Here, every sunrise feels like a promise, and every sunset feels like a farewell you don't want to end. This is Boracay, the beating heart of Philippine island dreams. But Boracay wasn't always the paradise we know today. Story, like the waves that sculpt its shore, is one of beauty, chaos, and rebirth. Long before the first plane landed, before the first selfie was taken under a burning orange sky, Boracay was a quiet secret whispered among the waves of the Sulu Sea. Locals from nearby Panay called it Boracay, derived from words meaning bubbles and white cotton. It was home to the At tribe, the island's earliest settlers, a peaceful people who fished, farmed, and lived in rhythm with the sea. They had no need for neon lights or beach bars. For them, the island was alive, a spirit to be respected, not a possession to be sold. The sand was sacred. The water was a living being. Every coconut tree had a name, and every wave carried a message from their ancestors. Imagine walking on this island then. No resorts, no music echoing from beach clubs, no smell of sunscreen in the air. Only the fragrance of fresh mangoes, the distant call of fishermen, and the sound of paddles slicing through crystal water. In those early days, Boracay was untouched by time. It was nature in its purest form, an island sleeping beneath the sun, waiting for the world to find it. The world's gaze found Boracay almost by accident. In the 1970s, a group of filmmakers and backpackers stumbled upon the island while searching for shooting locations. What they saw left them speechless, a white coastline that seemed painted by the gods. News spread like wildfire. Word of mouth carried the name Boracay across continents. Our travel writers called it the finest beach in Asia. European backpackers came first, drawn by adventure and curiosity. Then the artists, dreamers, and wanderers followed, each one leaving behind stories in the sand. But it wasn't until the 1980s that Boracay truly began to transform. Wooden cottages lined the beach. Cold species boats began to carry tourists instead of nets. The rhythm of the waves was joined by laughter, music, and the hum of new beginnings. White Beach was no longer a secret. It was a dream shared with the world. By the 1990s and 2000s, Boracay had become a symbol, a postcard of tropical perfection. Tourists from all over the globe began flocking in. Koreans, Europeans, Americans, and Filipinos from every province dreaming of white sand between their toes. Resorts rose from the coastline like mushrooms after rain. The one silent beach became alive with the sound of music, parties, and life. Palm trees framed hammocks swaying under the stars, and the gentle glow of lanterns painted the night in amber. The island was booming, and the locals were proud. They opened restaurants, crafted souvenirs, and became hosts to the world. Every day felt like a festival, every night like a celebration. Yet, behind the laughter, a quiet problem began to grow. As more people came, the island began to feel the weight of its own fame. The sand still shimmered under the sun, but the waters were slowly losing their clarity. Tourism is both a blessing and a burden. With prosperity came pollution. With opportunity came overpopulation. The island that once thrived in balance began to groan under the pressure of progress. Sewage systems couldn't keep up. Waste found its way to the sea. Coral reefs, once alive and glowing beneath the surface, began to die. And as the lights of beach parties grew brighter, the stars above became harder to see. In 2018, Boracay reached a breaking point. The government declared the island a cesspool. For 6 months, paradise was closed to the world. Resorts were torn down. Sewage lines were fixed. Locals were forced to leave, and nature was finally given time to breathe again. For the first time in decades, White Beach fell silent. No music, no crowds. Just the sound of the waves returning to their ancient rhythm. And in that silence, Boracay began to heal. When the island reopened, it was like the dawn after a long storm, clean, calm, and reborn. Plastic was banned. Businesses followed strict regulations. Resorts respected their distance from the shore. The island's ecosystem began to recover. Tourists returned, not to party, but to witness something extraordinary, a paradise that had fought for its life and won. The sand was still the same, impossibly white, impossibly soft. But the air felt different. Boracay was not just a destination anymore. It had become a symbol of resilience, of recovery, of humanity's ability to correct its own mistakes. It reminded the world that nature can heal if we give it a chance. Today, when you stand on White Beach, you don't just see beauty, you feel it. From Station 1 to Station 3, the sand gleams under your feet like crushed pearls. Locals smile as they offer fresh coconuts and stories. The water hums softly, inviting you to leave your worries at the edge of the shore. Children play where fishermen once paddled. Lovers walk hand in hand as the sun sinks into the horizon, painting the sea in gold and crimson. It's easy to forget that this paradise almost lost itself. But if you listen closely, really listen, you can still hear the island's whisper, "Take care of me, and I will take care of you." This is only the beginning of Boracay's story, the first breath of a paradise reborn. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into its hidden history, the culture of its people, the legends buried beneath its sands, and the powerful spirit that keeps it alive. Because Boracay is not just a place, it's a heartbeat, and White Beach, where it echoes loudest. At first glance, Boracay seems simple, a ribbon of white sand, shimmer of turquoise, and the laughter of travelers chasing sunsets. But beneath this postcard beauty lies a story far deeper. Story written in legends, lived by locals, and whispered by the sea itself. White Beach may be the island's heart, but its soul lives in the stories of its people, in the fishermen who rise before dawn, the children who grow up playing barefoot on coral dust, and the quiet resilience that binds them all together. This is the unseen Boracay, a paradise not just of beauty, but of spirit. To understand Boracay, you must first understand its people. The island's earliest inhabitants, the EET, lived simple lives long before tourism reshaped the sands. They were the island's guardians, dark-skinned, curly-haired, and deeply connected to the rhythms of the earth and sea. Their homes were made of bamboo and nipa. Their songs were soft and ancient, carried through generations without ever being written down. For them, Boracay wasn't a destination, it was a living spirit, a mother, a provider. Even now, their descendants still live quietly in the island's interior, their presence often unnoticed by those chasing selfies along the shore. But their story endures, etched into the island's veins like salt in the wind. Over time, migrants from nearby Aklan and Panay settled on the island, bringing trade, language, and livelihood. They built communities along the coast, relying on fishing, coconut farming, and later tourism. Today, these islanders embody the soul of hospitality that made Boracay famous. Every smile, every warm greeting, every simple "good morning, sir," carries a piece of that old island kindness that no modern resort can replicate. Every paradise has its myth, and Boracay's legend begins, as all good stories do, with love. They say that long ago, a beautiful maiden named Bari lived among the Atis. Her skin glowed like the moon, her laughter brighter than the stars. One day, a young fisherman named Ake from a nearby island saw her by the shore. He fell in love at first sight, but their love was forbidden. Bari's tribe did not mix with outsiders, so every night, Ake paddled across the sea to see her. They met under the moonlight on a hidden beach of pure white sand. When their secret was discovered, the gods grew angry. Storm, unlike any other, descended upon the sea. Bari and Ake held each other as the waves swallowed them whole. When the storm cleared, an island had appeared where they last embraced, its sands as white as Bari's skin, its waters as blue as Ake's eyes. They named it Boracay, the island of Bari and Ake. Over time, the name softened to Boracay. It's just a legend, but every islander knows legends are born from truth. Most travelers know Boracay through its famous White Beach, divided into stations 1, 2, and 3. But beyond the shimmering sands lies a side of Boracay rarely seen, quieter, wilder, and perhaps even more magical. Puka Shell Beach on the northern tip of the island lies Puka Beach, a stretch of coarse sand mixed with tiny white shells once prized as jewelry. Unlike White Beach, there are no sprawling resorts here, only the open sea and the gentle hiss of wind through coconut trees. Locals call it the raw Boracay, untouched, unpolished, pure. The waves crash louder here, reminding you that nature still rules this paradise. From Puka, the trail winds upward toward Mount Luho, the island's highest point. It's not a tall mountain by most standards, but from its wooden viewing deck, you can see the entire island unfold beneath you like a map of dreams. To the west, White Beach shimmers in the sunlight. To the east, Bulabog Beach dances with colorful kites, the world's best windsurfers carving across its waves. Here, in the cool air, you feel small and infinite all at once. Dinywood Beach, just a short walk from Station 1, lies Dinywood, a small cove framed by rocky cliffs and hidden villas. It's where locals go to escape the crowds, where sunsets feel personal, almost secret. Dusk, The cliffs glow orange, and the world seems to pause for a moment, caught between day and night. Every island has a rhythm, and Boracay's rhythm is its people. In the mornings, fishermen push their colorful paras sailboats into the sea, their sails catching the first light of dawn. Vendors prepare fresh fruit for the day's travelers. Kids chase crabs along the shore, laughing freely. By afternoon, the beach is alive, music, volleyball, tourists snapping photos, the scent of grilled seafood filling the air. But as the sun begins to fall, everything slows down. The sky turns into a masterpiece, a riot of orange, purple, and gold reflected in a mirror-flat sea. It's during this time, magic hour, as locals call it, that Boracay feels like it's breathing in unison. Every heart beats to the rhythm of the waves. And when night falls, the island comes alive again, not with chaos, but with color. Fire dancers spin their blazing poi against the dark, creating patterns of light that mesmerize the crowd. Acoustic bands play on the sand, and laughter fills the air. Boracay, even in darkness, refuses to sleep. In the middle of Station 2 lies the mall, the island's heartbeat of modern life. It's not just a shopping center, it's a crossroads of cultures. Here, you'll find street food beside gourmet dining, local crafts beside international brands, and travelers from every corner of the world crossing paths under strings of lights. The air smells of grilled squid, coffee, and ocean breeze. Souvenir stalls overflow with t-shirts, hand-woven bags, and shell jewelry. In every corner, there's the sound of life, bargaining, laughter, footsteps on sand-covered pavement. Mall is where island simplicity meets global energy, and somehow, it all works. Sound fades into the laughter of a crowd, then back to gentle narration. But even here, amid the noise and movement, you can still feel the essence of the old Boracay, the warmth of its people, calm of its sea, and that unspoken truth: paradise doesn't need to be perfect. It only needs to be alive. Boracay is known for its white sands and sunsets, but its soul lies beneath the waves. Just beyond the shore, coral gardens bloom with color. Parrotfish nibble at coral. Sea turtles glide slowly through sunlit water, and schools of small fish shimmer like silver confetti. Local divers know that the sea tells stories of balance, fragility, and survival. They'll tell you that every broken coral, every plastic bottle, is a wound the ocean remembers. And so, the people of Boracay learned a hard but vital truth: to keep paradise, they must protect it. Today, many locals work as eco-guides, dive instructors, and conservation volunteers. Beach cleanups happen weekly. Visitors are reminded, take nothing but memories, leave nothing but footprints. Boracay is learning and teaching how to live with the sea, not just beside it. When you walk along White Beach at night, with the sea whispering softly beside you, you realize something profound. This island isn't just made of sand and water. It's made of stories of love, loss, discovery, and rebirth. Has faced storms, both real and metaphorical. Yet each time, it rises again, softer, wiser, stronger. In the next part of our journey, we'll dive deeper into how Boracay balances the future with its fragile beauty, exploring sustainability, culture, and the human heartbeat that keeps this paradise alive. Because paradise isn't eternal. It must be cared for, or it disappears. And in Boracay, that lesson lives on every grain of sand.